Hello, dear sister. This spirit baby wisdom reading is one that is close to my heart, and it's a hard topic to talk about. And if you're drawn to it, then I want to give you a big hug because chances are you are going through or have just suffered or have suffered in the past a miscarriage. And frankly, they suck. They suck. They're absolutely horrible. Lost dreams. You have to rearrange everything in your mind around your due dates and what to expect, and your body's not the same, and it's awful. It's awful. I had two very dramatic, very different miscarriages, and um, yeah, they were definitely two of the worst things that have ever happened in my life. Very, very difficult. So, again, if this is a reading that you're drawn to, know that my heart is with you and that I hope that this reading will provide you some comfort. Um, the first thing the spirit babies want you to know, and it's very important that you open yourself up to this, and perhaps you already know this yourself, is that you lost the body of the baby, but not the soul. Okay? If you had just had a miscarriage or you've had one in the past, know that that soul is still close to you and wanting to return. So that alone, when I felt that myself, I felt that myself, that it was the same baby each time, and it took me 3 times to get that baby to stick. Um, but when I felt that yes, this baby is going to come back, oh, geez, it didn't take the hurt away, but it gave me hope. And hope during a miscarriage is a very, very wonderful thing. So just know that your baby is still in your energetic aura and is still wanting to come back. And the next thing your baby wants you to know is that it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you had this miscarriage. It's nothing you did. It's nothing you ate. It's nothing you were thinking. It's not because you were worrying. It's nothing that you did. It's not your fault. Okay, for whatever reason, the baby left, and it might be something on your baby's end. It might be something that you both agreed to as you were planning this lifetime together. Just picture yourself in the round table. You're planning lifetimes. And, okay, Mama, I'm gonna come, but it might take me a couple times, and you know what? We're gonna figure some stuff out along the way. So just know that this is something that you and your baby planned to go through, which I know can be hard to believe, but we do learn more through hardship than we do through ease. So blah blah blah. Just know that it's not your fault. But even though it might be hard to swallow, this is something that you agreed to experience, and your baby agreed to experience, and you're each gleaning from it what you need to glean. So just take comfort in knowing that it's nothing personally you did. It was just something you both chose to experience. Um, and then another thing that we want to talk about is that right now, because the yearning for your baby is so strong, the yearning for you, the mama, is also so strong. This can actually, and I'm getting chills now, and a little overwhelmed, this can actually be a very beautiful time of pre-birth communication. When I had my miscarriages with my son, that is when the pre-birth communication really, really kicked in. And you know what? It all started with an exercise that I did after my first miscarriage. And I read about this in a book. I can't remember what it is, but it was a little meditation that you do where you visualize yourself meeting your baby. I hope this doesn't make me cry. Well, meeting your baby, so you can say, see you later, goodbye for now. So I visualized myself on a beach, and I was meeting my baby, and you exchange gifts. So I believe in my dream, in my vision, I gave my baby a shell, just as a gift, and in my vision, he gave me a green piece of sea glass. And you know what? It was comforting. I actually didn't think too much about it afterwards until the next day, and I was seeing a friend that I hadn't seen for a while because she had been on vacation, and she brought me back a gift from Florida. And as I opened it up, I noticed that it was a necklace with a green piece of sea glass. And oh my God, my soul just leapt at it. I had this reaction to it even before I even knew what it was. And it was a soul recognition that, oh, this is from my baby. This is from my baby. Along with the green piece of sea glass, there was a little turtle, which, you know what, it didn't make sense to me at the time. And I remember even trying to take off the turtle. Oh, this would be even more perfect without the turtle. Oh, stupid me. When you get little messages like this, it's a message from your baby, even if it's one you don't recognize right away. I smartened up and looked up the meaning of turtle and found that it meant motherhood and protection. So to me, that was a promise, and that was a totem that my baby was sending me after my first miscarriage, a turtle. So again, this can be such a beautiful time. I remember even going through it. It was raw, it was tearful, I cried every day, but it was also a very beautiful time of communication and hope and promise. So be open to the communication that you can have with your baby after a miscarriage, because it is incredibly strong, incredibly strong. And I started writing notes to my baby in a journal, and this is a time where you can really, really, really tune into the spirit baby realm, because after miscarriage, you're still really tuned into it. You're still really tuned into the whole pregnancy creation. You're really, really tuned into it. So take comfort in that. Take comfort in that. That you can really, really hear your baby loud and clear, and vice versa. This is an incredible time for communicating with your baby. So hold on to that. Don't stop talking to your baby just because the body left, because he or she will come back, and there's a lot to say in between. There's a lot to say. Another thing is that along with the pre-birth communication being stronger, there's also other hidden gifts that come with miscarriage, sort of in relation to what you guys were planning when you decided to experience this. And you might not know what the hidden gifts are for a while, especially when you're deep into the morning. You're like, why the hell would I choose to do this? But there will be hidden gifts, and they will become clear. I mean, for me, it was obvious that the pre-birth communication was a huge gift for me. Would it have been as strong if I didn't have those miscarriages? I'm thinking maybe not. Maybe not. You know, with my first pregnancy, I was going the traditional route of going to the doctor, and I was thinking the hospital birth. And with my miscarriages, as the communication became stronger and stronger, I was able to hear my baby's voice of how he wanted to be born and the avenues that we should take. And so I went from doctor to midwife to nobody and just relying on me. I'm not saying that's your journey, but that was a huge, huge part of this puzzle for me, was having these miscarriages so I could listen more to myself. Listen more to myself and to my baby. So be aware that there will be many hidden gifts that will make themselves, that will reveal themselves over time. Well, I just want to see if there's anything else that we need to talk about miscarriage. So just give me a moment as I tune in. Okay, I think we're just going to sum up. We're just going to sum up. So, miscarriage. Your baby will come back. Your baby is still in your energetic aura. Your baby is really wanting to communicate with you. So this is the time to really take advantage of the strong bond between you two. And then also know that there's nothing you need to do to change it. Okay, what happened was not your fault. There's nothing you need to do right now. Just remain open and be very gentle with yourself. And talk about this too. You know, one of the things I can't stand, I really can't stand, is that it's widely accepted in our culture that we're not supposed to talk about pregnancy until the 12 weeks are over and there's little chance of miscarriage. I hate that shit. You know why? Because what? We're not supposed to talk about it? So we lost something that, and we're going through something huge and we're not supposed to talk about it? I could get really riled up right now, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say we need to talk about this. And you know what? After I got pregnant, I just started telling everybody, and if I had miscarriages, then I needed to talk about it. Maybe that's not what you need to do, but I needed to talk about it because it was huge in my life. And people also need to know how to deal with grief. That was one of the hidden gifts in my miscarriages, is that I didn't know how to handle people with grief beforehand. You know, I remember even ignoring something that was going on in a friend's life because I didn't know how to do it. And now I can see what an asshole I was. So we need to talk about it. So I do hope that you have people you can talk about this to. And don't be afraid to tell people that you're pregnant because you're afraid you're going to be untelling them later. It's important that we have support, and I really think it's important that we break down this stupid belief that we can't tell people. So we don't make them uncomfortable. Oh, it makes me so angry. So anyway, maybe that's part of the hidden gifts too, is, you know, finding our voice, and becoming a more compassionate society. That's what we need to do. I'm going to get off my little soapbox there and just come back to you and give you a hug, tell you your baby is still with you, still wanting to communicate, and will return as long as you make the circumstances right for his or her return. So with that, I'm going to send you love and more hugs and the promise of your baby's return. Love you, dear sister.